Most people believe that making more money will solve their financial anxiety. They're wrong. In fact, some of the wealthiest people in the world still feel financially insecure, despite having more money than they could ever spend. And that's because financial stress isn't always caused by a lack of money. Sometimes it's caused by the way your brain interprets money. Imagine someone who earns $40,000 a year. They dream about reaching six figures. They believe that once they get there, everything will change. Years later, they finally achieve that goal. Their income doubles. Their lifestyle improves. And yet a strange thing happens. The anxiety remains. The goal moves again. Now they need more. A bigger house, a better car, a higher salary. And the cycle continues. Psychologists call this the hedonic treadmill. The Stoics understood the same problem more than 2,000 years ago. And today, it's one of the biggest reasons people remain trapped in a constant feeling of scarcity, no matter how much they earn. In this video, you'll discover why more money often fails to create lasting financial peace, the psychological trap that keeps people chasing just a little more, and the Stoic principles that can help you break free. And if you're interested in the psychology of money, wealth, and human behavior, consider subscribing, because understanding your mind may be one of the most profitable investments you'll ever make. Let's begin. A fascinating example comes from people who experience sudden increases in income. Many professionals spend years believing that financial peace exists on the other side of a salary increase. Then they finally get promoted. They earn more than ever before, and for a few weeks they feel happier. But eventually their new income becomes normal. The excitement fades. The new lifestyle becomes the baseline. And once again, they begin looking toward the next milestone. The problem wasn't the amount of money. The problem was expecting money to solve a psychological pattern. We constantly fall into a cognitive bias called social comparison theory. We don't measure our wealth based on what we actually need to live in. Peace, but based on what the person next to us has. When you see someone else's edited, picture-perfect success on social media, your brain doesn't register it as entertainment. It records a deficit in your own life. It feels like you are falling behind, pushing you to run even faster on the treadmill. To break this pattern, we must turn to the psychology of control, a core pillar of Stoic philosophy. Epictetus taught that things are divided into two categories: what is within our control and what is outside of our control. Your net income, the global economy, the algorithm of your work platform, or your boss's decisions are not under your absolute control. But what is under your total control is your judgment about those things and the management of your own impulses. Financial anxiety rarely comes from the lack of money in your bank account. It comes from the lack of control over your expectations. Modern society sells us the idea that happiness is an equation of addition. More clothes, a better car, more status. Stoicism proposes an equation of subtraction. Happiness is achieved by slowing down your desires until they align perfectly with your reality. When you stop linking your personal identity and your peace of mind to external symbols of wealth, a drastic shift occurs. Your mind gets freed from the noise. Instead of wasting valuable mental energy worrying about how to look successful to others, that same energy is channeled into clarity, strategic decision-making, and creating real value. Mental discipline is not a restriction. It is the purest form of financial power. How do we translate this philosophy and psychology into daily practice? Here are 3 concrete steps you can implement starting today. Step number 1, implement the 48-hour rule for desires. Every time you feel the biological impulse to buy something that is not a basic necessity, force yourself to wait 48 hours. During this time, your brain will exit the state of excitement, triggered by dopamine, and return to its logical state. Most impulses don't survive 2 days, and if a desire disappears after 48 hours, it was never a priority in the first place. Most people, when they receive a raise or generate a new stream of income, immediately upgrade their visible lifestyle. They buy a nicer car or move to a more expensive place. Instead, apply the psychology of invisibility. Keep your fixed expenses stable and use the surplus exclusively to build your tranquility fund or invest in your growth and freedom. Wealth isn't what people see. Wealth is what allows you to sleep peacefully at night. Examine what stimuli you are exposing your mind to on a daily basis. If you follow social media accounts that only showcase extravagant lifestyles and superficial luxury, You are actively sabotaging your psychology. Disconnect from the noise. Replace those stimuli with content that builds skills, deep knowledge, and mental peace. Every piece of content you consume is training your brain to want something. Choose your teachers carefully. Remember this. The goal is not to earn enough money to stop wanting more. The goal is to stop needing more in order to feel complete. Because the moment your happiness depends on the next purchase, the next promotion, or the next financial milestone, you surrender control of your life. The Stoics understood something most people still struggle to accept. Freedom is not created by unlimited wealth. Freedom is created by limited dependence, and that may be the most valuable financial lesson of all. If this video gave you a new perspective, let me know in the comments. What financial desire has had the strongest influence on your life? I'd genuinely love to hear your thoughts. And if you'd like more content about psychology, wealth, discipline, and human behavior, consider subscribing. Thank you for watching. And remember, master your mind and money becomes a tool. Fail to master it and money becomes your master.